Welcome to Literature Digest. I'm your host Juan, and in today's episode, we'll be exploring the captivating world of Leo Tolstoy's Anna Karenina. This timeless classic, written in the late 19th century, offers a window into the lives and struggles of its characters as they navigate love, societal expectations, and the search for meaning against the backdrop of a rapidly changing Russia. To kick off our discussion, let's start with a brief overview of Anna Karenina for those of you who may not be so familiar with the novel. Published in serial form between 1873 and 1877, Anna Karenina is often considered one of the greatest works of literature ever written. The story follows the lives of several characters, including the eponymous Anna, her husband, Alexei Karenin, the dashing Count Vronsky, and the introspective landowner Konstantin Levin. At the heart of the novel is the tragic love affair between Anna and Vronsky. As their passion deepens, they face increasing social and personal consequences, which ultimately lead to Anna's devastating downfall. Meanwhile, the novel also delves into the life of Levin, who, like Tolstoy himself, searches for meaning, fulfillment, and a connection to the land. Throughout the story, Tolstoy explores the complexities of love, marriage, and family life, as well as the moral dilemmas and societal pressures faced by his characters. The novel is also notable for its richly detailed portrayal of 19th century Russian society and its masterful exploration of human psychology. Now that we have a general understanding of the novel, let's delve deeper into the characters and themes that make Anna Karenina such a compelling and enduring work of literature. First, let's talk, of course, about the novel's protagonist, Anna Karenina. Anna is a complex and multifaceted character who defies easy categorization. She's at once a loving mother, a devoted wife, and a passionate lover, not of her husband. However, as her affair with Vronsky unfolds, we witness her gradual unraveling as she becomes increasingly tormented by feelings of guilt, jealousy, and despair. The character of Anna Karenina serves as a powerful exploration of the consequences of defying societal expectations and the limits placed on women in the 19th century Russian aristocracy. Her ultimate fate can be seen as a cautionary tale about the dangers of pursuing personal desires at the expense of one's social standing and moral integrity. In contrast to Anna's tumultuous journey, the character of Konstantin Levin offers a more introspective and philosophical perspective on life. Through Levin's struggles to find meaning and purpose, Tolstoy examines themes that were very dear to him: spirituality, the value of hard work, and the importance of connecting with nature. As we follow Levin's quest for fulfillment, we are also introduced to the world of rural Russia, with its distinct customs and traditions. This serves as a fascinating counterpoint to the glamorous and often vacuous, superficial world of the Russian aristocracy, inhabited by characters like Anna, Vronsky, and Anna's brother Stiva Oblonsky. Over the course of the novel, the intertwining stories of Anna and Levin provide a rich and complex exploration of the human experience, touching upon themes of love, passion, morality, and, as I've said, the search for meaning in an ever-changing world, and this is very important. Tolstoy weaves a story of infidelity and self-exploration amidst the massive historical transformations taking place in late 19th century Russia, making the novel's historical context as crucial as its personal and psychological dimensions. In Anna Karenina's Russia, a fierce conflict arises between the traditional patriarchal principles that uphold the landowning aristocracy and the progressive, often referred to as libre penseurs or free thinking, ideals of the westernizers. The staunch conservatives champion customs such as serfdom and authoritative governance, while the westernizing liberals advocate for technological advancements, rationalism, and democracy. This ideological clash is evident in Levin's struggles with his peasants, who, despite his efforts to implement Western agricultural innovations, remain steadfast in their belief that traditional Russian farming methods are superior. The confusion brought about by these shifting times is also apparent in the debate surrounding the zemstvo, or village council, where Levin attempts to engage as a supporter of democracy, but ultimately withdraws due to his perception of its ineffectiveness. At Stiva's dinner party, guests discuss the issue of women's rights, a burning topic at the time, highlighting the impact of Western social advancements on Russia. However, the marital difficulties experienced by Dolly, Stiva's wife, and Anna, Stiva's sister, do not paint a promising picture for the future of feminism, at least not within the novel's universe. The process of courtship is also in a state of flux in the world of Anna Karenina. While the custom of arranged marriages is beginning to lose popularity, Princess Shervetskaya is appalled by the idea of letting Kitty select her own partner. The narrator goes as far as stating outright that no one seems to know how young people are supposed to marry in Russia during the 1870s. Collectively, this confusion stemming from vanishing traditions generates an environment of instability and fresh possibilities, as if individuals need to re-evaluate how to live their lives. It is within this ever-changing atmosphere that Levin's philosophical inquiries become feasible. Another prominent theme in Anna Karenina is family and the intricate web of relationships between its characters. Tolstoy masterfully explores the workings of love, marriage, and family life through the experiences of his characters, shedding light on the challenges and joys of forging meaningful connections with others. For instance, the contrasting marriages of Anna and Karenin and Levin and Kitty provide a fascinating study of the different forms that love can take and the impact of societal expectations on personal relationships. The novel also delves into the dynamics of sibling relationships, as seen in the interactions between Anna and her brother Stiva, as well as between Levin and his brothers. In many aspects, Anna Karenina harks back to the genre of family novels that were popular in Russia several decades prior, but had fallen out of favor by the 1870s. These Russian family novels often depicted the joys and warmth of family unity and domestic contentment in an idealized manner. Amid the rapidly changing social landscape of 1860s Russia, numerous social progressives criticized the family institution, labeling it as an antiquated and limiting constraint on individual liberty. They argued that families often exploited children for cheap labor. Anna Karenina participates in this then-current debate on family, with the novel's opening line emphasizing the importance of this theme. Although the novel generally adopts a pro-family stance, it remains forthright about the challenges of family life. The idea that a family restricts individual freedom is apparent in Stiva's initial stunned realization that he's unable to act on his whims, namely sleep with his children's governess. Similarly, Levin discovers that he cannot impulsively visit his dying brother without first consulting his wife and adhering to her demand to accompany him. Nevertheless, despite these constraints on personal freedom and the disputes that afflict every family portrayed in Anna Karenina, the novel presents family life as a source of solace, happiness, and even philosophical enlightenment. Anna dismantles a family and succumbs to misery, while Levin establishes a family and concludes the novel on a joyful note. Anna's life ultimately loses meaning, while Levin's life gains it, as the final paragraph of the novel proclaims. In the end, Tolstoy conveys the message that faith, happiness, and family life are inextricably connected. Some readers of Anna Karenina may be perplexed and even irritated by the considerable portions of the novel dedicated to Levin's agricultural pursuits. Lengthy passages detail the act of mowing, discussions about peasants' opinions on wooden and iron plows, and Levin's sociological musings on why European agricultural reforms are ineffective in Russia. Nevertheless, this emphasis on agriculture and farming serves a vital role in the novel and is rooted in a long-standing literary tradition. The idyll, a literary genre originating from ancient times, depicts farmers and shepherds as happier and more content than their urban counterparts, portraying a connection to the land as indicative of a fulfilling life. Farmers comprehend growth and potential and recognize the fragile equilibrium between personal effort and reliance on natural forces. In Anna Karenina, Tolstoy modernizes the idyll by making Levin, his novel's spokesperson, a dedicated farmer as well as a fervent philosopher, the only character who attains a clear understanding of faith and happiness. For Levin, farming represents a means of transcending oneself, seeking something greater than individual desires, a quest he views as the foundation of all faith and happiness. His days spent mowing fields bring him into closer contact with Russian peasants, which are emblems of the quintessential Russian spirit, than any other character. Characters who extol the virtues of peasants, such as Sergei, rarely engage with them. Consequently, Levin's connections with farmers demonstrate his deeper attachment to his nation and culture, Russian culture, compared to Europeanized aristocrats like Anna herself. He's more in tune with the truths of existence. It is not coincidental that Levin ultimately discovers faith by heeding the words of his peasant Fyodor, a farmer. Nor is it by chance that Levin's declaration of life's meaning in the novel's final paragraph alludes to agriculture. Levin concludes that life's worth lies in the goodness he invests in it, similarly to how the value of a farm rests in the quality of seeds and labor the farmer contributes. In the end, Levin arrives at a concept of faith centered on growth and cultivation. In addition to its exploration of relationships, Anna Karenina is also renowned for its vivid portrayal of 19th century Russian society. Tolstoy captures the intricacies of Russian social customs and the nuances of daily life, providing readers with a fascinating glimpse into the world of his characters. From opulent balls and lavish dinner parties to the quiet beauty of the Russian countryside, Tolstoy's richly detailed descriptions transport readers to the heart of 19th century Russia. His keen observations of social dynamics and class distinctions serve to illuminate the challenges faced by his characters as they navigate the shifting landscape of their society. As we continue our exploration of Anna Karenina in this podcast, it's important to recognize the novel's lasting impact on literature and its enduring relevance to modern readers. Despite being written over a century ago, the themes and ideas explored by Tolstoy in Anna Karenina continue to resonate with audiences today. The novel's exploration of love, passion, societal expectations, and the search for meaning in a complex and evolving world, I think, speak to the universal human experience. As we journey alongside Anna, Levin, and the other characters, we are reminded of the timeless challenges and triumphs that define our shared humanity. But how does Tolstoy achieve all this? Let's examine the literary techniques employed by Tolstoy in Anna Karenina, as well as the novel's significance within the larger context of Russian literature. One of the most striking aspects of Anna Karenina is Tolstoy's use of an omniscient narrator, which allows him to delve deeply into the thoughts and emotions of his characters. This narrative style creates an intimate connection between the reader and the characters, fostering a sense of empathy and understanding. Additionally, the novel features multiple plot lines that are all skillfully interwoven, creating a rich and complex narrative tapestry. By juxtaposing the stories of Anna and Levin, Tolstoy invites readers to consider the parallels and contrasts between their respective experiences, highlighting the novel's central themes and ideas. Tolstoy's use of vivid imagery and symbolism is another key aspect of Anna Karenina's literary artistry. From the haunting image of the railway tracks that foreshadows Anna's tragic fate to the symbolic significance of Levin's agricultural endeavors, these elements serve to enrich the novel's narrative and enhance its emotional impact. Anna Karenina also stands out for its nuanced exploration of human psychology. Tolstoy's deep understanding of his characters' thoughts, motivations, and emotions lends a remarkable depth and realism to the novel. This psychological insight is one of the key reasons why Anna Karenina, I think, continues to captivate readers long over a century after its publication. Interior monologues are also important in Anna Karenina. In the novel, Tolstoy allows us glimpses into Levin's inner thoughts at critical moments in his life. His joy when Kitty accepts his marriage proposal, his euphoria while mowing with the peasants, and his anxiety as Kitty endures a difficult childbirth. However, Tolstoy employs the technique of interior monologue even more extensively and poignantly in his depiction of Anna's final moments during her journey to the train station, where she ultimately meets her demise at the end of part 7. Without insight into her thoughts, our comprehension of what leads Anna to take her own life would be significantly weaker. Without this perspective, her death would merely join the ranks of countless women in Russian literature who commit suicide due to love. But as we delve into Anna's inner monologue, we witness the vibrancy and occasional humor that render her such a compelling character in the novel. For instance, she interrupts her somber reflections to remark on the absurd name of her hairstylist, Twinkin. We also observe the extent to which Anna has become a burden to herself. She dreams of escaping both Vronsky and her own self. The interior monologue reveals her suicide, not as a glamorized cliché, but as a straightforward and heart-rending attempt to free herself from the very identity she once sought to liberate. For many people, including people who have not read the novel, Anna Karenina is about adultery. I wouldn't say it is about adultery, but adultery is an important motif in the novel, for sure. Anna Karenina is primarily known as a novel centered on infidelity, with Anna's unfaithfulness to her husband being the pivotal event in the main storyline. The subject of adultery garnered significant attention in the mid-19th century, as demonstrated by works such as Nathaniel Hawthorne's The Scarlet Letter from 1850 and Gustave Flaubert's Madame Bovary from 1857. Although the culpable party in these novels is invariably a woman who meets a tragic fate due to her transgressions, the 19th century adultery novel is less focused on religious moralizing than one might anticipate. And Anna Karenina serves as an example of this. Because while the novel is replete with biblical quotes from both its characters and its epigraph, its moral ambience is not predominantly Christian. In fact, many of the novel's devout Christian characters, such as Madame Stahl and Lydia Ivanovna, are portrayed as repulsive and hypocritical. Tolstoy infrequently mentions the church in the novel and even occasionally gently ridicules it, as evidenced when Levin, for example, scoffs at the confession he must take in order to get married. While the religious stigma attached to adultery is indeed present in the novel, its influence is not particularly strong. In Anna Karenina, the more significant disapproval of adultery stems not from the church, but from conventional society. Adultery is primarily a social issue in the novel rather than a moral or a religious one. Karenin's main concern with Anna's affair with Vronsky is not that adultery is sinful or that it causes him emotional pain, but rather that it will provoke a negative response from society. What would the neighbors say, kind of thing. Karenina prioritizes property and decency, maintaining a respectable image for the neighbors above all else. It is for this reason that he's willing to overlook Anna's affair as long as she does not pursue separation or divorce. He's not overly concerned about his wife's love for another man. Instead, he cares solely that she continues to present herself as a dutiful wife. Anna eventually despises and attempts to escape the restrictive power of social convention, initially by fleeing to Italy and later by retreating to the countryside. Consequently, in Anna Karenina, adultery serves as a byproduct of the suffocating pressures of society, making the novel not only a story of marital betrayal, but also a work of social criticism. Now, let's discuss the novel's significance within the broader context of Russian literature. Anna Karenina is often regarded as one of the finest examples of the realist tradition in Russian literature, alongside works by other literary giants like Fyodor Dostoevsky and Ivan Turgenev. Tolstoy's masterpiece helped to shape the literary landscape of 19th century Russia. The novel's focus on social issues, moral dilemmas, and the complexities of human relationships reflects the broader concerns of Russian literature during this very fertile period. By exploring these themes in such a profound and nuanced manner, Anna Karenina has secured its place as a cornerstone of Russian literary tradition. It is also worth noting that Anna Karenina has had a profound impact outside Russia on world literature as a whole. Many authors, including Virginia Woolf and William Faulkner, have cited Tolstoy's masterpiece as a major influence on their own work. The novel's enduring popularity and continued relevance attest to its status as a classic, as a true literary classic. Now, let's examine the novel's portrayal of 19th century Russian society. So Tolstoy masterfully captures the complexities of Russian society during a time of rapid change and upheaval. The emancipation of the serfs in 1861 and the increasing influence of Western ideas, European ideas and culture had a profound impact on the lives of both the aristocracy and the lower classes. Through characters like Anna, Vronsky, and Stiva, we see the allure of European customs, fashion, and even intellectual movements. By exploring the tensions between these two worlds, Tolstoy highlights the challenges faced by individuals as they are forced to navigate the shifting landscape of society. This nuanced portrayal of Russian society adds a layer of depth and realism to this novel that I think makes it irresistible to readers today. But let's change gears now and explore topics such as the role of gender in the story, the novel's philosophical underpinnings, and its portrayal of the human experience. Let's begin by discussing the role of gender in Anna Karenina. The novel offers a fascinating examination of the expectations and limitations placed on both men and women in 19th century Russian society. Through the experiences of characters like Anna, Kitty, and Dolly, Tolstoy examines the societal pressures faced by women in terms of marriage, motherhood, and personal fulfillment. Anna's tragic fate can be seen as a cautionary tale, as I said earlier, about the dangers of a woman pursuing her personal desires at the expense of her social standing and moral integrity, right? Anna's struggles against the constraints placed on her as a woman in her society is a powerful reminder of the inequities faced by women during this period. The character of Levin, on the other hand, provides a window into the expectations placed on men, including the responsibilities of land ownership, fatherhood, and the pursuit of personal fulfillment. Through the lives of these characters, Tolstoy invites us to consider the ways in which societal expectations shape our identities and choices according to our gender and social standing. Okay, now let's explore the novel's philosophical underpinnings. So Anna Karenina grapples with profound questions, as we have seen. Questions about the nature of love, happiness, and the search for meaning, all of that in an ever-changing world. Through the character of Levin, Tolstoy examines spirituality, the value of hard work, and the importance of connecting with nature. The novel also engages with broader philosophical debates of the time, such as the tension between Western liberalism and traditional Russian values. But what about the more universal question of human experience? At its core, Anna Karenina is a deeply human story that grapples with universal themes: love, passion, morality, the search for meaning. These themes, I think, are as relevant today, no matter where we live or who we are, as they were in 19th century Russia. Through the lives of its richly drawn characters, the novel captures the complexity and nuance of human relationships, emotions, and motivations. As we conclude our in-depth exploration of Anna Karenina today, I do hope you've gained a deeper appreciation for this literary masterpiece and its lasting impact on the world of literature. Whether you are a first-time reader or revisiting this classic work, there's always, I think, something new to discover within the pages of Anna Karenina. Once again, thank you for joining me on this episode of the Literature Digest podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast for more in-depth explorations of classic and contemporary literature. In our upcoming episodes, we'll dive into the works of other literary greats. I hope you join me, and until then, happy reading.